but it's, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, we should have everything that we had back in the 1800s, 1700s in the South, because that was not a good time.
It was not.
It was simple
People
as that.
were not happy.
People were very upset during that era, and I think we tend to forget that, and we tend to sweep it under the rug of, well, okay, so they're not happy, but that's not our problem, and it's like, well, they cannot be happy, but we get to be happy, and that's not, it's just not working anymore,
Well, the way I see the entire argument is, so if you're not a racist and you insist on flying the flag, at the very least you're being racially insensitive.
Yeah.
And that's a form of racism in and of itself. I'm not saying you're like completely like racist,
right?
But you got that dollop in you, like you do, and you have to acknowledge your dollop. You have to acknowledge your dollop of racism.
Right. And see, but funny thing is like I admit I actually own 2 Confederate flags, but then again, I do.
What?
Yeah, I do. Well, because I'm a Civil War buff. And see, and I was history was my minor here, and I've done a bunch of social studies stuff, and I've been to battlefields, and so I've collected a lot of Civil War memorabilia from both from the Union and the Confederacy. So I actually own, memorabilia of that stuff. But see, I don't wave it in pride. I don't.
Is
put
it hanging behind your couch at home?
No, it's not hanging anywhere. See, that's the thing. Is like I don't claim to be Southern pride because I'm not Southern pride. I just, I like the history of the Civil War. It interests me, but I mean, I don't really want to live it anymore. I don't want to go through I wouldn't want to go through a Civil War,
But I think that we're on the cusp of a new one.
Clearly.
But this is going to be economic.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's going to be.
The poor people will rise.
Poor people versus.
The South's not going to rise again. The poor people are going to rise. That's what's going to happen first.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But see, I always feel I always have to start any discussion I say with and I forget sometimes that I actually own Confederate flags, but it's not, For me, it's not heritage. It's not racism. It's just I have collected them because I've been to historical battlefields over the years, and I have to admit the only thing that bugs me about taking the flags down, because kudos to South Carolina, kudos to Amazon, kudos to Walmart for all they did, but even the battlefields were talking about stop doing that stuff, and I'm like, well, that's kind of where the history is, that's okay. That is the battlefields. That's where it happened, but. There's no reason for it to be hanging over state capitals, and things like that.
No, I mean it is a part of the history, and there's a place for it.
It's a place for it, and that's what I'm saying. If you're so proud, then visit these places and be proud. But I mean, other than that, I mean, what kind of message are you sending when you have that flag flying over the first building in your state? The main building of your state. Other than because you can't say Southern pride because. No, I'm sorry. There's just there's no way you can defend. You can't really defend it other than it's racism. It's as simple as that.
I also missed the ISIS flag that had dildos on it.
Yeah, that was funny. And I love that was
great fact-checking news outlet.
That was the greatest. What's the word I'm looking for? It was the greatest reveal of all time. Everybody was like, "Oh, look, it's ISIS at the gay parade." No, take a closer look at it. Oh, that's weenies. That's what that is. That's smoked weenies right there. That's not ISIS.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
But that was like the greatest piece of journalism ever. So and
it was beautiful.
I loved watching the Fox News coverage. At first.
If this had been before the internet, you may have gotten away with your stupidity. It is everywhere now.
Yeah, it's not. You're not gonna get away with that one for sure. But no, that was funny. So.
What else did I miss?
Oh gosh.
4 weeks.
Well, let's see. We talked about pet peeves last week. Pet peeves. I asked DJ Poor what some of his pet peeves were. I was thinking something along the lines of people who dress their animals up, but no, he got real deep in depth with it and was all like the PC culture, and went on at least a 5-minute rant talking about PC culture. So kudos to him for giving me something more than I would have ever asked for out of that conversation.
Oh, wow. My biggest pet peeve, and I think there's a special place in hell for these people,
are
the ones who refuse to get over until they get right up to the cone. Like, there'll be a sign saying 2 miles left lane ends, 1 mile left lane ends.
Oh, God, I know, right?
30 feet left lane. And then they'll get right up to the cone and want to get over.
And then want to get over. Like, oh, you want to get over now.
Why are you so entitled? Get in the bloody line like the rest of the world. And if everybody did this, we would all just keep moving.
Right.
We'd all just keep moving. I don't
sorry.
understand.
I didn't know you wanted to come over here.
I never let them over. Never.
Yeah, no, you don't. You can't at that point.
I'll flick them off, too, while I'm driving past them.
Exactly. Right. It's ridiculous. But
special ring of hell for them.
Special ring of hell, indeed. But our little cord's messing up there. Anyway, that's what you're hearing in the microphone. And if you're hearing it at home or in the car, I apologize. I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, we fixed that. Anyway,
we're technical here.
It's a little technical difficulty. Anyway, what else? What else went down since you've been gone? I can't even remember. But that was the biggie. That was the biggie.
Oh, Iggy and Britney Spears had a falling out.
Well, now I didn't know this.
Wait, what? Yeah.
I didn't know
this. Yeah, because their song was terrible.
It was terrible, but
it never took off.
Oh.
And so Iggy blamed Britney for not promoting it correctly and enough. And then Britney came back and was like, "Well, at least I can sell out shows."
Ooh,
so,
burn. Yeah, no. Yeah, I missed that one. I didn't know that. I didn't know that went down. Well, good for her, I guess, or for I don't know. Good for somebody. I don't know. I don't know who it would be good for, but good for them in their little battle. But
and Clueless turned like 20 years old.
Huh?
As if.
Say what?
Clueless just turned 20 years old.
It did, actually. I forgot about that. And we paid homage to it back in April with our movie theme thing. We've got another special coming up. I don't know when we're going to do it. It's going to be forever before we can get to it because, I mean, you've been gone. You're back. This would be and so my first thought would be, well, let's do it next week. Well, I'm actually out next week, so we can't do it next week. So let's make it a plan. Let's do that. We've spoken about it.
Let's do it the first week school starts.
Okay, when is that?
I don't know. I pay attention to that. We'll find that out. We can Google that.